So, Mr. Citterio, a warm welcome to you. It's a great pleasure and a big honor having you here today in Munich. Thank you for coming.
Also for me, it's a really pleasure to stay here again in Munich, because I remember very well the first time when I came for designfunktion for an opening for my video presentation. It was at least 25 years ago. But you know, now in any case, sometime I'm coming to Munich because I'm doing a building here for an office building, and it's a good opportunity to see you and the building itself.
So that's a very nice situation that you work on strong design and you are an architect. Mm-hmm. Where you got your inspiration from when you do architecture or when you do design?
Sincerely, there is no difference between design and architecture. No, the approach is the same. Okay, I changed the scale, that for sure, mm-hmm. but it's the same approach. And for me, you know, from architecture, sometimes I have a lot of inspiration in design, because you know, and sometimes from design I have inspiration, for example, for some industrial process in architecture, and for that reason there is no difference between design and architecture. It was like in the past, nobody asked a question like that. For example, 100 years ago, you know, every architect are designer and vice versa. No? Mm-hmm. It was after the war, you know, we start these two different practice, but before it was the same.
It was the same. Yeah. So just to have an example, what inspired you today so far?
The inspiration is the curiosity. You know, it's curiosity for everything. Curiosity for industrial process, for material, for example, what happened around the world. It's an inspiration. For example. Look, we are in an incredible situation now in Europe, because you know, we have many people move from other countries to Europe, but also many people, they move from the countryside to the city, and architecture now has become more and more high-rise building, because we need, you know, put many people in the same building, and you know, that's for example, I am involved a lot now in this high-rise building all around the world, and I'm really interested in that. And your question, it was the inspiration. Inspiration is to resolve the problem, not for this movement, for this huge movement, but try to resolve a little problem what I can do, because in the end of the day, we are working for the quality of life, and if I can do a little step in this quality of life, in any case, it's a big job. It's a big goal.
Mm-hmm. And you try to reach this really strong goal to improve life through architecture and design on both ways. Actually.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I try to give my best.
And we know, especially in Munich, we know both, because we know many of your products within our showroom, and we know now the new building, which is Nove. Do you want to talk a little bit more about Nove in Munich?
Oh yeah, if you know, it's an office building, but with an interesting approach in the public area, you know, because the idea is to create the spirit of an hotel in the public area, you know, when the people, they can meet, they can eat something, you know, a friendly relationship in the building, you know, and it's, you know, is not an incredible innovation, because there is already other typology like this on the world, but I think in Munich it will be one of the new one, with this idea, you know, to create not just an office building, but an office building really think what happened in the relationship, you know, between a possible client or some tenant in the building, or client that come from outside and meet in this building. You know, we have a big hall, you know, like an hotel. You know, that it will be the idea of the building.
Very interesting. When will it be opened?
I think in the next year it will be finished.
Next year, okay. Very good. Let's talk about your products and how you achieve the goal that people can have a poetic approach to it. How does it work to reach a level like this?
It's a good question. You know, all the time I try to work and to do product with this normal approach. Now, when I'm talking about a normal approach, means I'm doing products and I don't think about marketing. I think about, for example, what I like or what I don't like, or what I need and what I don't need.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I all the time I don't try to change the expression of the product or the expression of the typology. You know, for me, chair is a chair, sofa is a sofa, and I try just to to improve something. I don't try to improve everything. I improve something, and for the normal customer, when they see my product, they already know a little bit, but there is something different inside, and it's an emotional relationship between memory and contemporary, and that I think is the key of the success of some of my products.
Okay, I see. And let's get to another different point. You are very well known for your strong relationship and for your strong success with Vitra and B&B. What makes a relationship between you and a company that strong?
Yeah, it's from both. I have I have a very long relationship. Because in B&B I started in the '73. Like 33 years ago. Mm-hmm. Vitra, it's 83, means 33 years ago. And in the both case, there is a relationship, and when you have a relationship with the owner of the company, it's like when you have the father or the mother of the project, and you create an alchemic composition, and for example, with B&B I'm doing something, and with Vitra I'm doing other thing, because it's another alchemic composition. Mm-hmm. And that is the secret, because many people they are thinking design is something you can do alone, or you can do in your office. You have inspiration from the God. In reality, it's more simple. No? First, you talk a lot with the owner of the company. Mm-hmm. You talk a lot with the company itself, and the definition of the product, for example, is the 50% of the project. Just. And the definition is long discussion, It's a long conversation. It's never really a conversation with many numbers or something like that. No, it's a friendly conversation. We are just thinking, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? And that is the secret. And then when you have the relationship, like a friendly relationship, you don't need to convince anybody,
Okay.
And that is because, after, I opened my office in the '70s. This year is 46 years. Wow. And I don't need to do a new sofa. I don't need to do a new chair. No. Why? I'm doing because I think maybe there is a reason to do that. Mm-hmm. And that relaxed situation give to me and to us the opportunity to do something what we really need. Mm-hmm. And that is I think is the most important part of the relationship. I don't need to convince. Mm-hmm. We need to be convinced. It's different. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mr. Citterio, from whom do you learn the most?
Yeah, it's,
is there someone, or are there some people?
No, there is, when you are student, when at the beginning of your profession, no, you look at many person, for example, sure, you know, I'm talking many time about, I learned a lot around Charles Eames when I was student. I work a lot in, for example, around Louis Kahn in architecture, Le Corbusier, and when I was young, for example, I went everywhere just for to see architecture. For example, I remember I went to Dhaka in Bangladesh in the end of 70 when Bangladesh, it was an incredible experience to go there in India and Bangladesh, or Chandigarh to see Le Corbusier, or America for to see other, you know, for me, I learn a lot in architecture through the visit of the building, because to learn architecture just on the book is not enough. You have to really feel the space.
Okay.
And learn about design, it was the same. I'm disassembling product, for example, by Eames when I was student. I really disassembling. And through this disassembling product, I really understood the process, how the people, how Eames think about this, about that, what does it mean connection, what does it mean one material to another material, industrial process. That it was a fundamental approach of my practice. Now it's different, you know. Now you don't look at the person. You know? You are looking everything, and you are critique about your job and the job what the other people doing. You know, it's a look at the person. It's an opportunity to learn a mistake. No, that is I'm looking for mistake now.
Learning out of mistakes is best way.
Exactly.
Trying out. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you get upset about bad design?
No, it's, for me, you know, more and more design is the reality, you know, and you know, now you don't find a terrible cars, or you don't find a terrible mobile phone. No? Sometimes you find a terrible chair, but that is another story. And you know why? You know, because in some, you know, more or less now in the industrial world, all products are designed. And maybe sometimes it's good design, sometimes it's less good design, but there is someone who really thinking, who really thought a lot before to do an industrial investment. Sometimes, for example, in furniture design, we still have someone who's doing something quickly, and maybe they are thinking they are doing a piece of art, but in reality it's just something a little bit stupid. And but I am not worried about. You know, it's a part of the joke of this world.
And which product from other designers do you like most? Is there one which you like really strong and say, wow, that's a good form, a good design, I like it?
You know, in principle, I don't, you know, okay, if we are talking about 50 or 60, I can say, okay, I like this, I like that. But, you know, what for me now, you know, what I have a respect to some person, to some professionist, and then, and I respect the you know, all they did. Not it's not a question of one. It's a question of all. You know, and in the architecture is the same. You know, you have a respect for the total job. You know, for the direction what they are doing, not the result of the single product of the single architecture.
Okay, I see. You did a huge work in your career, so many really strong products. Is there one which you like most from your own products?
Yeah, that is okay. Is the beginning of something. You know, for example, is the beginning of a relationship. And for example, my product for B&B, the Diesis, done in the end of 70, I still have this sofa in my room, in my office. I don't know if I like more than others, but it's in my history, you know, it's really part of my young time, you know, and for that reason I have you know, an emotional relationship. It's also like what some product done, for example, the AC1, AC2 for Vitra, no, it's the same. No, that the first product done for Vitra in the 80s, and you know, it's a question of relationship, and it's a question of memory, not because I love more, because I sell more of this. It's not like that. It's you know, design is in the end of the day, it's a story about personal relationship, you know, and when you think about one product, you remember someone who worked with you, or who worked for that specific product. You know, it's really a memory of something, you know, a memory of a person, and I like to know that and to remember that.
Yeah, just a personal comment. You name the relationship having to situations, to clients, or to products. In my personal development, when I was with Vitra from 94 to 97, I was trained in your first chairs in AC1, AC2, AC3, and I sold them to clients, and I presented it nearly every day. So your design is really something which I have a relation to.
Yeah, that is a very, you know, it's exactly what I tried to explain before. Yeah, great.
Which talent should a designer have? Which talent is really necessary?
Curiosity.
If
you don't have curiosity, you are not a designer. Forget.
Okay.
Curiosity and a positive approach of life. You know, because if you believe in the future, if you believe in the human culture, you have a positive approach of life, and if you have a positive approach of life, you can become a designer. If you don't thinking positive, don't do design, because it's you know, it's really important. Try to resolve problem, no, and resolve problem means you have a positive vision.
I see. Could you finish, please, the next sentence? In 35 years, design for people is? Oh,
you know, when we try to talk about the future, normally we make a big mistake, you know. And if you see the same question maybe 35 years ago, you know, everybody maybe they make a mistake. You know, for me, design, furniture design, architecture is really something for every day, you know. I do an example. 35 years ago, 40 years ago, the furniture design, the contemporary furniture design, it was the 6% of the market.
6.
And we have many ugly things around, no? But not just in the furniture, also in the cars, also in the, you know, after 40 years, you know, everything is design. Everything is design means, because design is not an aesthetic approach. Design is an holistic approach. And more, you know, the product are become something who people work a lot, you know, and I'm sure in the future the design it will be better than now, because more clever people, they will work around design.
Mr. Citterio, may I ask you something personal? If work is done and the weekend is in front, what do you do when you have time for yourself? When you are not an architect and not a designer, when you just do something else, what do you do?
No, for me, you know, my profession is not a profession, it's an hobby.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, I like to stay in, for example, in my country house in Portofino, because we have a little farm in the hill of Portofino.
Mm-hmm.
And in the nice season, I really like to stay there. But after, you know, sometimes I stay around my swimming pool with some book. But after, with some white pepper, I try to sketch something. Because I really like. I really like. It's my passion.
It's
no?
your
Relax and think something, sketch something. It's a part of my free time.
Wonderful, Mr. Citterio. Thank you so much for
Thank
this
you
interview
too.
and for your time.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.